Hi guys, happy Saturday. I'm going to turn on another light in here. Actually, lighting doesn't look too super bad. Oh yeah, that makes it too bright. I see you guys joining. Hello. Don't be afraid, say hi. Okay, so I had a question from one of you guys. Judy Werner sent me a message and said, there's a little white halo there. Hold on. There we go. Judy Warner said, I'm having issues basically stamping on Yupo papers. What she asked, what kind of ink should she use? So that's what we're going to do today. You guys may have seen that I made some messy full page Yupo papers. And so I have cut them down to card front sizes. I'll just show them to you quick. So 2 of them I had cut hearts out of with a die cutting. And I cut the hearts out of them, and then I stamped Happy Valentine's inside, and Leah took those to school. But these are the ones that I have left, and I just love all the bright colors and the foil. And I'm not seeing chat because I didn't turn it on. There we go. All right, somebody send me a message so I can make sure it's on. Please say hi. Oh, there you guys are. I missed all of that. Hi, Dee. Hi, Angela. Hi, Anne. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Emily. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Dee. Okay, so Dee asked, what's the name of the mod? It's Mod Squad Challenge. ModSquadChallenge.com. You guys still have a couple of days to join the Floral Challenge. Yes. Hi, Melanie. Oh, I was like, where's everybody at? You guys aren't normally quiet, and I didn't turn the chat on, so thank you. Okay, anyway, back to the alcohol backgrounds. And you can see some of them have foil stuck on them. There's a nice big circle in that one. I did some playing around with alcohol inks last night, and made little gems. And this morning, I ran down to check on them, and they hadn't hardened. So I was really thinking when I was at work today that when I got home, I was going to have this big gooey mess of resin / epoxy. And it's actually starting to set up. So I was able to pull them out of the molds, but they are not completely hardened yet. So I will check them again tomorrow. I also made a new one, which is like a giant diamond shape. I colored it blue. I tinted it blue with the alcohol inks, and I put some of that gold in there. So we'll be able to see those tomorrow. All right. So I stamped this one out yesterday, and I used 4 different kind of inks. So this is, again, it's Yupo paper, which is that fake plastic paper. And then it has alcohol ink all over it. And the 4 kinds of inks that I used, and I will demonstrate this. So this stamp, this little circle stamp, and by the way, these are cheapy circle stamps. They are silicone. I think they're made by Fiskars. Don't quote me on that. I think they're Fiskars. They're old. So I used archival ink. So that was this little square here. I use StazOn with this one, which is like multiple little bubbles, circles. And then on this guy, I used Stampin' Up! Archival ink, which is a little bit different formula from regular archival ink. And I used these 2 stamps. And then this little guy here, I used with Gina K, which is regular amalgam ink, which is like a hybrid ink. So what I wanted to show you is, can you see on the background here where those circles have imprinted? So what I did was, after I stamped it, I flipped it over and I rubbed my fingers on it. And these are the images that transferred. So it was the ink that was the Stampin' Up! Archival ink and the Gina K ink. So these 2 inks did not dry immediately. Okay, so they left a little bit of a residue. I left it overnight and nothing's coming off now. So whatever ink I've used has completely dried. Nothing is coming off now. So the point of that is if you have any of these inks, they will work. It's just a matter of what's going to dry quicker. So the other two inks that I use, which was the StazOn and the archival ink, that didn't smear at all. So let's do a couple of these and see how they work out, shall we? And I never really thought about stamping on Yupo. You really don't want to heat emboss on Yupo because it's plastic, so it'll melt. But I thought, isn't it cute putting these little circles on there with all these bright colors? These could be hello cards, thank you cards. I mean, pretty much anything. It's such a bright, colorful background. Hi, Janie. Janie, we are testing out more black inks here and all the things that they do on Yupo alcohol backgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to do this bright red one. Now, remember, there is some pooling of the inks here in the center. So this one actually has some gunmetal mixative in there. That's what that gray color is. So what I'm trying to say is this is not completely flat. There is some texture to this. There's some foiling there. So keep that in mind too, that the ink may not stick to those areas. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is always recommended with alcohol inks, which is Ranger's Archival ink. Mine is super old. I need to invest in a new one. I just haven't gotten around to it. I have re-inked this thing like a million times. I feel like every time I use it, I'm re-inking it. So I'm going to just stamp in random places. What I do like to do with these circle stamps is if I see something cool, kind of follow the border, the shape of that, if that makes sense. Like if there's other circles from the alcohol inks. But I'm just going to randomly stamp this guy. I like to stamp in sections of 3. Kind of changing the direction and what shows up. Okay. And I have my little spray cleaner. These are silicone stamps, so they won't stain. Speaking of silicone stamps, I also have, don't let me forget to show you guys the 2 magazines I picked up at Barnes & Noble yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to continue to keep the stamps on the lid so we remember which inks we use. That was my way of keeping track. Okay, now we're going to move on to StazOn. I don't think I've ever used my StazOn ink as much as I have this week. You guys have really been asking me some good questions for me to experiment, and I appreciate that. Oh, I wonder if Anne Marie's on here. I haven't seen Anne Marie yet. So Anne Marie is in France. She's in, I think it's pronounced Nice, France, right? If that's correct, I don't know. But I was going to ask Anne Marie about the almond cookies, the French almond cookies, because I mentioned before, my StazOn ink has this, I don't know, this almond smell, and it smells just like almond extracts, very cookie-ish. What's that stuff people put in their cookies? It's like an almond extract and smells real sweet. Maybe that's what it is, almond extract. Okay, so those 2 are StazOn. Now we're going to move over to a little bit bigger stamps. Let me say here, let me change it up a little bit. Okay, so this is archival ink from Stampin' Up. Every time I use this, I can't remember if it's retired or not. I have a feeling it is retired. I know, shame on me. Dee, do you know if it's retired or not? Didn't they go back to a regular formula black ink now? I can't remember. I have so many black inks, I haven't bought another black ink. All right, so this is like a swirly one. We're going to try this one using the Stampin' Up archival ink. Now, that ink smells like a permanent ink. Like, you would think that that's what StazOn would smell like, but StazOn doesn't smell. My StazOn doesn't smell. I don't know if yours does or not. Do, 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 do. It's getting cold again. I hate this weather. Can spring just come already? Cool little swirlies there with that guy. I think I'm going to do... Oh, here's a different one. Where am I going to put this? Oh, Janie, that's so awesome. I have not been to France yet. My son has been to France. My sister's been to France. I have not been to France. I've been to Germany. Hi, Terry. I've been to England. I have been to Aruba, Mexico, Canada. Let's see. I think I want more of a solid image. Oh, these are kind of cool. Let's try these guys out. Hi, Jenny. I have been to Jamaica several times, Aruba, Mexico, of course, all over the States, Florida, Korea. But I have not been to France. I smudged. This is what happens when you don't use a positioner. That's okay. You got to go straight down and up. Cannot wiggle because it'll slide. No wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm just going to stamp this one in the middle. Straight down and up. Okay. All right. Now what I want to do is I don't want to touch this right away. Again, it's Yupo paper, which is plastic. And it's going to take a second for these inks to completely dry. So I don't want to go touching them right away. But for demonstration purposes, because you guys want to see, I'm going to do the paper test again. Move my stuff out of the way here. So... I need a piece of paper. Oh, here we go. Paper towel. Okay. So here we go. So the reason I did it this way instead of taking the paper towel to it is I didn't want any smudging. Okay, so these inks that smeared were the same two inks. So the Stampin' Up! Archival ink was using these stamps, and these are the ones that are on the paper here. And then the other ones that smeared was the Gina K Amalgam ink, which didn't surprise me because that's not really like a permanent ink. It's more like a dye ink, I guess. I know it's a kind of a combination of an ink, but the other inks, so the other two inks, the Stays On and the Archival inks did not lift, they did not smear. So let's just move that out of the way a second. Let's let that dry. I am going to show you real quick. Intermission. Stopped at Barnes & Noble. Ooh, wanted to tell you. They told me the magazines are on sale right now, and it's buy one, get one 50% off, which I didn't know when I went in. So I did buy 2 magazines. Do you want to see them? Let me move you guys up a little higher. Ugh, I gotta fix this mount. It's driving me crazy. Okay. Hi, Savvy Crafter. Thank you for your Q-tip hint. I mean, your not Q-tip, toothpick hint. Your toothpick hint. So I was just telling these guys that last night when I checked the resin this morning, it was still kind of ooey gooey sticky. And actually, I was thinking about it at work all day. Like I didn't mix it long enough, or I didn't put the right portions in there. So I was really upset that I was going to come home to this ooey gooey mess and going to have to clean it up. Like the consistency of toothpaste, it was really gross. So, when I got home tonight, I checked it again and it's starting to set up. So they were hard enough that I was able to pull them out of the molds, but not hard enough to say that they're completely cured. Though I did make another batch and I was very careful to mix it up this time and make sure I put the timer on and mixed it for the right time. That's what I was thinking, because the blah 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 blah, the instructions on the resin said 24 hours to cure. So they're pliable, they have their shape, but they're just not hard yet. So we'll check them again tomorrow. And I made a new one, which is like the diamond shape mold, and I mixed it with some blue alcohol ink to tint it, and I put some gold in it. So I think that one's going to be pretty cool, but we'll wait until tomorrow to see where they are. Well, I am so glad you're here to help me out with that, because I just like the look of resin and thought, let me try it out. Now I'm thinking I'm getting in over my head. Oh, you'll have to send me an email and tell me what kind you use, because this is all new to me. D, I am trying out resin art. Yeah, you'll have to look at the video. I posted it this morning. I made a big mess is basically much what I did. It was a hot mess. Okay, here's the first magazine I got from Barnes & Noble. This is the Die Cutting Essentials magazine. I don't think I've ever gotten one of their magazines before, so I wanted to try it out. And what really caught my eye was this comes with a globe, a set of dies. It comes with a stamp set, and it came with an embossing folder, and it came with all of these papers. So you're basically getting an entire kit here. And this one was normally regular price on this is $24.99 US. Okay, so I mean, it's not cheap. It is a UK based magazine. So one of the things I always warn about, with these stamp companies, if I can get it out of the bag, is that these are silicone stamps. So if you're new to my channel, if you're new to stamping, I do have a video which explains the difference between silicone stamps and photopolymer stamps. There is a difference in how they stamp and how you should condition them when you first get them. But look at this cute little embossing folder. Isn't that neat? They probably do, because this sticker here says $24.99. So I don't know what the real price is. It says $12.99 in the UK, but I would guess that's European. What is it? They don't call it pounds, euros, right? Euros. So who knows? I guess they do charge more because of the stuff that comes in there. Plus, it's probably not cheap getting it shipped here. All right. So back on the conversation about the stamps. So when you get these stamp kits, first thing you want to do is smell it. If there is no odor, like no distinctive chemically smell, it's probably silicone. The second thing you're going to do is pull it off of its backing sheet. And if it's really stuck on there like this one is, okay, it's probably silicone. The third thing you want to do is stretch it. Very easy to stretch, probably silicone. And the reason I want to educate you guys of that is because when you stamp with a silicone stamp, And I'm just using this Gina K ink because it's right here. And I'll put a link to my silicone versus photopolymer video. When we go to stamp this guy out, what happens is because it's silicone, the ink tends to pull up on the stamp. So you want to first clean your stamps. You want to clean them very well. Sometimes there's residue on there. The second thing I recommend is grabbing an eraser. Any kind of eraser. And what you're doing is you're priming this stamp now. You're priming this stamp to absorb ink because, once again, silicone stamps are designed to resist ink. I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's silicone. I mean, think about it. We use silicone in our cookware now so that the food doesn't stick, right? Same kind of idea. So once it's primed, then if you want to, you can stamp with a clear ink like Versamark. And what Versamark does is just fills in all the porous surfaces that are left. And then we're going to stamp it again. This lid is really tight. And what you should notice then with your silicone stamps is that the ink isn't pulling up as much. And you should get more of a crisper image when you stamp. So I can already see, I know you guys can't see, but this image is definitely darker and crisper than this image was, which was before I primed it. So that's just my couple cents on silicone stamps. Silicone stamps are a little less expensive to manufacture. From what I understand, they also don't last as long. You want to keep them out of sunlight because they could disintegrate. But anyway, the whole reason I got this set was, let me put my stuff out of the way here. I wanted the earth. I know that sounds very silly, but I wanted the earth because do you remember when I made the galaxy background? I want to put the earth on galaxy background because I think that would look cool. You want to be careful when you're pulling these off the backing because they will rip on you. Okay? I just think putting the earth would look cool on there. I didn't realize that Angela said I created a optical illusion by putting the first stamp looks larger than the second stamp. It's just the way the stamp is cut. There's extra silicone on here. I'm just going to cut it off. Okay. Thanks, Dee. This is the watercolored with the Arteza paints, and then I sprayed it with some shimmer spray. Okay, so I bought this whole $25 magazine for one stamp. Don't say you haven't done it. Okay, but it has some cool stamps. It has a little travel bag, an airplane, welcome to the world, this little compass thing. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. Very nice. Mom, dad, friend, daughter, son, couple, world's best. Then you have those, some flower images here. And it came with these little die cuts, and the little die cuts will cut out those flowers. And if you wanted to make a globe out of the earth, you could make a globe. And if you don't have a circle die, there is a pretty nice size circle die and a banner die. So you don't have to use it with just the stamp set. It's very versatile. And then, of course, the cute embossing folder. The magazine itself, I haven't looked at. D, if you used code, oh gosh, I think it's Nancy Stamps 1, you get 10% off at Arteza. You'll have to go back to my video and click the link, and then you'll see the code there. Jenny, you are a very strong woman. I got you, girl. Wink, wink. All right. So these are the papers that came with it, which I thought were really cool, like travel papers. I mean, this is just cool in itself, right? So you have some floral print, some stripe prints, some more floral prints. Who doesn't want free paper? Here's some more maps, flowers, travel. These are little, so here's what's cool. These are little circle like tags. So you would use your circle die that came in here and cut those tags out. Here are a whole bunch of banners that came with the paper. So that will cut those out. And then this will cut out all the little banners. So you can cut these banners out. They're already pre-printed. You can stamp them if you want. Here's some flowers. So this whole page works with these dies. All right, that's a good idea. Savvy Crafter says, go to Pinterest, find the papers you like, save them to your picture folder, and then print your own papers. That's a great idea. Printing them out on glossy would be cool. Here's some more of the earth with different sections if you wanted to make the globe again with the circle die. Here's some large compasses, the circle die. Here's some more earthly map pictures. Florals. So all of these papers came in there. So papers, stamps, embossing folder, and dies. Plus, you get a magazine, and the magazine gives you these ideas. So here is the embossing folder. They stamp that out. They heat embossed it. They cut the flowers out. And some more ideas on how to use this stamp set. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I usually keep these magazines. I try to keep the stamps with them, but some cool ideas on using what you're getting. So that's the first one I got. And again, that one's called Die Cutting Essentials. Comes in this little box. Like I said, I think that's one of the first ones I've ever gotten from them. I don't think I've ever bought a die cutting one before. Dollar Tree has large magnets for lockers. You can cut them down and hold the dice. That's a good idea. Aw, thank you, Savvy Crafter. I think there's different dollar stores. Like there's Dollar Tree, there's Five Below, there's another one my kids and I go to. It's just called the Dollar Store, I think. All right. This one I was super excited about. Do you guys see this? Ranger! Who doesn't love Ranger? I'm so fangirl over Tim Holtz. If I ever see him, I will probably like wet my pants and like want his autograph and my picture taken with him. That would be so cool. All right, so this magazine was in the US normally $17.99, but because I bought a magazine, I got this one for $8.99. Okay, so I think the sale is until tomorrow at Barnes & Noble. Don't quote me on that. I don't work for them. I don't know. Okay, so this is brand new. So this one came with not one stamp set, not one magazine. Oh, no. It came with two magazines, and it came with 4 stamp sets and 4 stencils. Savvy Crafter's like, going there tomorrow. Okay, so this came with the Ranger team. So if you weren't aware, these are the artists that work for Ranger, and it had all of their stamps. So this is Diane Reevely. If you've ever watched her videos, she's very funny. They're all very funny, but she's very funny. Her stamps are very artistic, quirky, just fun. Whimsical is the word I would like to use. Now, these are her designs. Okay. They're just miniature versions. However, these are not photopolymer. These are silicone. Okay. So you are getting a sampling of her designs, but it's not the same quality that Ranger puts out. These, I'm going to assume, were printed when the magazine was printed. So they're silicone. These are silicone stamps. And then you get this little bitty flower stencil, which, how cute is this going to be for Easter? So you get that. They're tiny little guys. This one is Wendy Vecchi. very much like a mixed media artist. They all kind of are. Also silicone on that one. She's more classic in her designs, a lot of floral images, and you get this cute crisscross kind of pattern stencil with that one. And then over here we have Dina Wakley. Dina, very funny, very artistic in hers. Like you can see these are very drawn. This little bird set, stars, little girl, fierce, brave, worthy. Again, also silicone. And then this stencil is more like a mixed media stencil. Dina does a lot with mixed media as well. So you have like the little bricks and the little circles, so you can mask those off. And then this one I was really like happy to see is the Ranger Letterette series. And this one is also silicone. I think I have a Ranger Letterette stamp set. Hold on. Hold, please. Maybe I don't. Maybe I thought about getting it and never got it because I don't know. I just wasn't sure. I thought for sure I did have one. I'll have to look into that. I don't know if I do or not. But this is like, these are designed to teach you how to do calligraphy. So you take a brush marker and trace these. But if you don't want to do that, you can also just stamp them out. And then it has this little like diamond shape stencil, so you can stamp it on top and then stamp it again, or stencil it on top and stencil on the bottom, and then you have this diamond shaped in the middle, and then you can put your little, your little saying in there. Okay, so 4 stamp sets, 4 little stencils, all from Ranger Artists. No Tim Holtz on here. What's up with that? Okay, anyway. Oh, we're glad you're back. Hi, Huntress. Terry's in Canada. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Janie. Welcome back. What? Oh, you need to share those, Savvy Crafter. She said she was like dumpster diving and got all the stuff out. I was told that they send them off to some company that resells them. I don't know. Maybe that's just here. Okay, so the first magazine is this Ranger magazine. And again, it samples the stamps and little ideas of what you can do. It focuses all on Ranger products. So it shows you the Ranger stamp sets. There's a little article down here about Tim Holtz. Tells you how to make the cards. It tells you the blah, 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 blah. It tells you the items you're going to need, and then it tells you step-by-step directions on how to make the cards, which is pretty cool. I just like looking at them for inspiration. Of course, when it comes to advertising, you're going to see some of those new items. I did order a couple of the Pearl alcohol inks. I'm waiting for them to come in. So just some fun stuff here, and you're just getting a sampling of what they have to offer, and then you can see that they clearly have full-size versions of what they're giving. So here it is with that stencil, and then like I said, with that stamp in the middle there. So Savvy Crafter says she's going to give away some of those items on her channel, so make sure you guys go over to the Savvy Crafter. Janie, this one was $17.99. I got it 50% off because Barnes & Noble had buy one, get one half off. And then it came with these pretty papers. So these were designed by the artists. These are too pretty to use. So this is Tim Holtz paper. So it came with just a couple of sheets of those. And again, just more of an introduction to each designer. Now, this I was really cool about seeing. This is a color chart of each of the inks. So like here's the Distress inks, here's the Dina Wakley media, here's Wendy Vecchi. So you guys can keep that. Like I'm probably going to rip this out and check mark all the ones that I have. The Ranger magazine actually came, this is a Simply Cards magazine. It came with the Ranger magazine, so this set was $17.99. So these came together. You got both magazines and all the sets all together. So Simply Cards and Papercraft magazine. Normal price on this is $17.99. I got it for half off because Barnes & Noble has a buy one, get one half off right now. And then this is just your regular card making, demonstrating all different cards and companies and stuff. Now, in the UK, Crafter's Companion is huge. So there's a lot of stuff in here for Crafter's Companion, things like that in here. But if you're looking for magazines that give you some kind of inspiration, these are nice. I love Lavinia stamps. I don't own enough of these. I really don't know how to use them and make these beautiful backgrounds. So I love pictures like this because I can kind of reverse engineer it and figure out that I can do distress oxide inks in the background here, second generation stamping around the outside, silhouette stamping. So I love these kinds of pictures to give us inspiration. So let's see. Thank heavens there are some men in the business. Yes, like Tim Holtz. For real, Janie. Terry says, that's a great idea, Terry. Laminate it, she says. Yes, Joann's does have some of these types of magazines. Joann's and Barnes & Noble is normally where I find these types of things. And I'll let you guys know because I did ask somebody if the letter set, when you get it from Ranger, for some reason I thought I had one, but now I'm drawing a blank. I want to know, can anybody answer if any of you have the actual Ranger ones? Are the Ranger ones silicone too, or are they photopolymer? Because I think that these are all silicone because, again, it's just giving you a sampling. You're not buying the actual stamp from the stamp company. You're buying a reproduction from the magazine company. Yeah, we have Christopher, we have Simon, we have Tim Holtz. There's a lot of guys that are showing up in these in the crafting world. There's Ken, like Ken's Creations, right? D says no Barnes & Noble around. Sorry, D. All right. So how we started this video was Judy asked, how do I stamp on my alcohol ink background? So this is the one that I did yesterday, and the ink is all completely dried. The ink is not coming off. This is the one I did just a few minutes ago. So just to remind everybody, the two inks that worked the best for me were Archival ink and StazOn ink. And I did the circles and the bubbles, circles and bubbles. So here's the circle. Not really coming off. Here's the bubbles. Not coming off. So those two are holding steady, not rubbing off. Okay. So pretty good there. Here's where it's going to get a little messy. All right. So this like swirly swirl and this little starburst, these two I did with Archival ink. So this one, it's going to get messy. I can already feel that it's sticky. Like there it is. And you guys see how that ink transferred to me. So this is not completely dried yet. There it is. Just touching it. So the Archival ink from Stampin' Up, you need to let that dry if that's the ink you're going to use. And then the Gina K, I use this little swirl. So yeah, still wet. Still wet. Okay. So if you're going to use any inks other than Archival or StazOn, you want to set these aside overnight and let them dry. Again, I don't recommend heat embossing them because you will melt the Yupo paper. So if you're going to be stamping on alcohol ink background or Yupo paper, you want to use one of these two inks. StazOn or Archival. All right. Okay. What are you guys talking about? What are you saying up there? No, Barnes. I know, dude. That sucks. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. Janie believes that the Ranger stamps are photopolymer. Let's see if I'm as organized as I think I am. These are the little baskets I store my stamps in. I store them by like sentiments, flowers. I don't store them by companies. I store them by the way that I use them, which would be sentiments all in one, flowers in one, things like that. But I think I thought about buying a Ranger Letter It set, and then I backed out because I was afraid it was going to be silicone. You're not going to have silicone with anything Hero Arts. I've never gotten a silicone stamp from Hero Arts. Impression Obsession's good. Stampin' Up's good. Close to My Heart is good. Altenew, kitchen sink stamps, all of their clear stamps are all good quality photopolymer. My favorite things. So the only ones that are kind of cheapy are the free magazine ones, honestly. Or I mean, if you order any stamps from China, you know, AliExpress, if you're ordering any of those companies, they are normally knockoff designs, and I've said it before, I do not endorse that. It's your money, you do what you want, but I would rather support a company in the US that's using good quality photopolymer than send my money to a company overseas that is going to send me shoddy craftsmanship quality stamps and also be ripping off a designer. So I don't endorse ordering stamps from China or AliExpress, but it's your money, so you do what you want. Okay, I don't have a Letter It set. I did get one of these Kelly Creates. Let's see how that one does. Have you ever used an eraser as resist on Yupo paper? I have not, Huntress. I will have to try that. So this is fairly new to me. Now, Kelly Creates has a Instagram where she's always doing lettering and so on. She sells markers. She sells these calligraphy sets, lettering sets. So I'm pretty sure these are photopolymer and not silicone. It's hard to tell because they're really little. They're coming off the backing sheet good. They're stretchy, but they're not super stretchy. I mean, if they are silicone, it's really hard to tell. Hold on. Yes, Huntress, do a video. We'll all come over and watch it. These might be silicone. Only one way to find out. Stamp with it. So the other thing is silicone stamps will not stain when using red ink. Photopolymer stamps will stain when using red ink. We'll see how clean this gets. Oh boy, guys, I think these are silicone. They're pretty good quality. I think I got them for like $2. They were dirt cheap. So they might be silicone. I have never tried onion skin paper. I don't know what that is. You guys need to do some videos and explain to me what that is. I've heard a lot about it, but I have never done onion skin paper. Yeah, Janie, not all, but most of the European companies do silicone stamps, and most of the US companies do photopolymer stamps. Not all of them. You really need to kind of check them out. So if you guys get a chance, go over and check out the Savvy Crafter and Huntress Habits, their channels. We're all here to share the love and share each other's crafty ideas. I don't really have anything else for you guys tonight. That was my whole shebang. We just wanted to ink on these cool Yupo background papers and show you guys the magazines that I got. And that's all I got. Next week, I will be picking the winner. It's a random drawing. So if you haven't entered yet, head on over to modsquadchallenge.com and you could win a $25 gift certificate to Kitchen Sink Stamps. The theme is floral. So your card, your tag has to have something floral on it. And then... is it Wednesday? I have to check my calendar. I think on Wednesday, I will be posting my video for the new Blue Night rubber stamps release. If you have not checked out Michelle Borsak's channel or her blog, actually, let me look that up for you guys. Michelle has already been revealing for Blue Night rubber stamps their new release. She's got a couple of stamps. I think there was 24 total stamps. So... Michelle's blog is Bellissima Cards. Bellissima Cards. So if you go to Michelle's blog, Bellissima Cards, she has already started to do the Blue Night rubber stamp sneak peek, and there's a giveaway, so you could win some of these stamps. So head on over there. I do have a couple of them. I can't show them to you yet. Well, maybe I can. Hold on, because they went live. Let me see here. Let me see if I can show them to you. Blue Night stamps. Blue Night rubber stamps. Oh, they did go live. Okay, so Blue Night rubber stamps, you guys. These are the new images. I'm just going to show them to you guys. Let's kick it off already. I'm going to show you what I got here. You guys are getting a sneak peek. Yes, I did see the tonic release. All right, now there are a couple of us that were asked to join Blue Night rubber stamps to help launch the release of these. So you might see some of these stamps by other stampers, but I'll just show you the ones that I have. I did stamp them all out for you guys. I am going to be posting a video next week, and you guys will get to see what they are. Okay, so I don't know what the official names are. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so this stamp set, and again, these are all live at Blue Night Rubber Stamps. Head on over. I don't know the names. I'll have to look up the names for you. But this one, I know you guys are looking at the underside, stamps out these bare trees, and then it has these pine trees at the bottom. So bare trees, pine trees at the bottom, and then it has this little, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it a bush. So what I did was I took this little bush, and instead of stamping him down here, I stamped him all over the trees and made it look like a spring or a summer scene, right? The sentiment didn't go with this stamp set, so just ignore that. That doesn't come with it. I am going to do a winter scene with this one, because how cool would that look if I stamped that out, colored like this foggy gray background, and then did the glitter snow method, right? I think that would look so cool with this stamp set. So that's the first one. It's number one. Number two is some motorcycles. So this is the varying different sizes of the motorcycle. So it's all the same design, but you can use it in different scenes. So for example, if I wanted to park a motorcycle over by these trees, like I might use this guy, right? Just saying, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes of motorcycles. So we have a large, or an extra large, a medium, and a small. Okay. So that's the motorcycle set. I got that one. Okay, so you can see here, I just kind of drew this moon, and then I went out line by line by line. You're buffering. Oh no. Should I wait? Ah, everybody's buffering. Let me check my internet connection here. I don't have anything else running, so we should be okay. But you guys tell me. Yeah, we're connected good here. All right. So it sounds like you guys are buffering. I'm not done. Don't leave yet, Terry. I'm almost done. You guys let me know when you're back. I see Angela's back. Tiffany's back. Terry, are you back? Huntress is back. Jenny K. Okay, you guys are back. So I was saying this is the final stamp set that I got. And this is I'm calling it the Panther stamp set. I don't know the official name. I'll find out. Hi, Emily. Yes, I love that it's silhouette too. So when I first did it, I just did some markers. This is regular cardstock, and I just kind of swiped the markers on. Well, because it's on regular cardstock, it didn't really move that much. So I moved to watercolor paper, and I did it again, and you can see that this blended a lot better once I moved to watercolor paper. But because I thought I was going to be smart and use the rough side of the paper, it didn't fill in all the black areas, so I kind of went in with a Copic marker and redrew a lot of it. But I will probably do a video on this. So what do you guys think? So which is your favorite stamp? We have the Silhouette Panther, the Fox, the Llama, the motorcycles, and the trees. And you guys can comment down below if you're not watching this video live and tell me which one you like the best. I will probably be doing videos on all of these just so you guys can see the different ways of coloring them, different ways to design. So we have, again, the trees, motorcycles, the little peekaboo llama, the fox, and the Silhouette Panther. So keep an eye out next week. I will be doing a video and probably showing these samples again, but I won't tell you which one I'm going to be doing a video on. That will be a surprise. Okay, now I'm done. So we talked about stamping on alcohol inks. We talked about the magazines. We talked about the Blue Knight rubber stamps released. We talk about Mod Squad Challenge. I sound like Toby Keith. What else is there to talk about, right? Well, if you like this video, guys, I appreciate your thumbs up. Any questions or comments, post them down below. I will be happy to answer them for you. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll try to come back on tomorrow night. I have to pick Leah up. Oh, it's a cougar. It's a cougar, Janie says. Janie, I'm a cougar. Oh, just kidding. No, I'm not. But I will try to touch base with you guys tomorrow if I have time. In the meantime, go on over and check out the Savvy Crafter. Also check out Huntress Habits. Some other YouTubers here. We're all here to support each other. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Good night. Bye-bye.